Am I the jerk for losing my mind on my mother? I, a 21-year-old male, have just finished my 3rd year in college. It was by far the most stressful year of college, and I'm in the worst mental state of my life up to this point. I spent the past 2 months before school ended stressing about classes and what would happen if my grades weren't stellar. I've been working since early March on getting an internship pharmacy technician job over the summer. I've applied for at least 40 jobs, and every time it's the same response. Either we're not looking for anyone working over the summer, or you don't have experience in this field yet, so we can't do anything for you. Despite this being an entry-level position, and I have the certifications. Aside from this, part of my degree is working an approved internship for a semester. Based on how tough classes were this semester, there is no way I can work a job while in school, which only leaves this summer. I cannot get a different job as this would not meet the requirements. I've been home a total of 4 days so far, and every day has been the same. I get a call text from my mom about how I am failing in life and need to work immediately. I have gone into detail at least 4 times to her about my situation and how I am trying my best, but there is nobody willing to hire. At first, I figured that she had good intentions and wanted her son to have a job that he could succeed in. After today, I have absolutely no idea what her intentions are. After stepping into my car after speaking face-to-face with a pharmacy employee about a job, I receive a call from my mom. When I pick up, I can immediately tell that this was not a civil conversation, but one that was fueled by anger and dissatisfaction from her own day. It began with, "Why have you not done anything with your summer?" As we went on, things got uglier as I could feel the disrespect and resentment through the phone. Eventually, one phrase made me snap. I stated that she had no idea how hard I've worked and the effort I put in every day to get one of these jobs. It simply amazes me how out of touch with the job market she is, especially when you consider she's had the same job for over 2 decades, and it did not require the amount of work that this entry-level job does. I'm not sure if it's generational differences, but I'm over the Generation Z doesn't want to work narrative. I've explained my situation day after day, and nothing gets better. I am genuinely doing everything I can. This fiasco, combined with the existing stress from my semester of school, has made my life a genuine hell, and I'm considering seeing a doctor to determine if I'm anxious, depressed, or both. I've never had any symptoms or thoughts before these past few months, but I believe this has changed that. I'd do anything to go somewhere else. You are not in the wrong here. Temporarily stop communicating with your mom. It's important for your mental health. Even if you need to borrow money from someone to get by until you find a job, it will be worth it. If she keeps harassing you, consider going no contact temporarily or permanently. You have the right to limit how much negativity you take from anyone, even family. Am I the jerk for telling my roommate she's the problem? Sarah has been an issue since the day she moved in. She does not follow rules, leaves insane messes, and lets dishes pile up for weeks. She won't even do her own dishes no matter how many times I have to remind her, because she knows at some point I'll get fed up and do them myself. But she refuses to take responsibility for any of it and deflects, and speaks in generalities when it's brought up. It's textbook weaponized incompetence. Recently, Sarah has been leaving garbage with food still left in the bags out in our living room. My dog has allergies and has gotten into the bags and eaten the food left in them, which is obviously causing an allergic reaction. So I messaged Sarah and brought it up, asking her to keep garbage in the kitchen. She deflected the conversation to the kitchen, saying we all need to be mindful of the garbage in the kitchen as well. I totally agree, but all of the garbage on the floor in the kitchen is hers from her bedroom. It's not much, but it's still there, including dirty cat litter that she constantly leaves to pile up in our kitchen. So I feel it is unfair to speak in generalities when she's the one causing the mess. I sent her a picture of the state of our kitchen and said it's all hers because I'm not sure what she wants me and the other roommate to do with her garbage. She came back saying, "Well, I was just speaking in general, not pinpointing who's making the mess, like, huh? It's your mess." She then said she can't take the litter out because our bins are full, which was last night. That is a lie because I just took the garbage down and the bins are completely empty. I called her out on it, but now she's saying I'm trying to control her and that I need to lay off, which I have done immensely because this has been a conversation for months, and I don't bother her about the dishes anymore, which is what she wanted. And now she's trying to make me shut up again by saying I'm the problem. I need to know if I'm in the wrong here. I'm really not trying to fight her, but I'm tired of the general speaking when she's been the problem. It makes me feel like she's just avoiding responsibility. Am I the asshole? You are not in the wrong here. You and your other roommate need to present a united front against Sarah and make it clear that everyone has to clean up after themselves. Let her dishes sit in the sink if she doesn't clean up, and don't allow her to use yours. Put her garbage outside her door if she won't take it out, and don't argue. Just stick to the facts. Am I the jerk for wanting to be removed from a stranger's obituary? My father left my mother for his affair partner about 7 years ago. I was in my 20s at this point and made it clear from the start that I wanted nothing to do with this woman. In the 7 years since then, I have never met her and made a point of knowing as little about her as possible. Before my parents were even legally separated, my father moved across the state and into his affair partner's house. They told her family and friends that he and my mother had already been separated when they started seeing each other. It became clear very quickly that my father did not care about the effect his behavior had on the rest of the family, my mother, my sister, and myself, which has severely damaged my relationship with him. At times, we have been estranged. Several months ago, it was brought to my attention that his affair partner's mother had died, and my sister and I had been listed as her granddaughters in the obituary, not even as step-granddaughters. Not only had I never met this woman or anyone in her family, I didn't even know that she had died, or her name. When I called my father to demand an explanation, he said, "You're a part of my family." I told him I expected him to fix this. He said, "Fine," and hung up on me and hasn't spoken to me since. I think the real reason he included me is that he is either lying to himself that he still has a big happy family, or it's to keep up the lie about how he and his affair partner's relationship actually started. My sister sees him once a year on Christmas, but I don't believe she has ever spent time with his affair partner's family, and I don't know how he explains my absence. The reason I'm asking if I'm the asshole is that my sister thinks I should let it go for the sake of the deceased woman and her family. Nothing you have done here makes me think you are the jerk. They had no reason to include you in this obituary. It's completely unreasonable to list you as a granddaughter when you made it clear you wanted nothing to do with this situation. If the obituary is online, comment below it to share your story and set the record straight. If comments are closed, contact the site or paper to get your name removed. Am I the jerk for being afraid of bees? I am a regular visitor to a dog park. There is a core group of us that come every morning. I am terrified of bees. The other day, for whatever reason, there were so many bees. Yellow jackets, really. Whenever a bee flew into my face, I couldn't help but almost give out a little scream and run away. A couple of people were like, "Just stand still and it'll fly away," but I just couldn't. It was just a knee-jerk reaction when a bee flew at me. I wasn't trying to be annoying or bother anyone. I just hate bees. After another bee flew at me, one of the regular women started yelling, "Shut up," over and over and just being really rude. I asked her, "Why are you talking to me like that? You're being rude and disrespectful." She replied, "F you." I was incredibly taken aback. I said again more harshly, "You're being so disrespectful." She said again, "F you." This woman isn't just a regular park goer. She's physically disabled. She is in her 70s and needs a knee replacement. So I would go out and help her whenever she was having trouble bringing her dogs in. She was my dog's dog sitter, and I would pay her very generously just for sitting with my dog on the couch for a couple of hours when needed, because I know she's on a fixed income. I've never been anything but kind and respectful toward her. And sure, maybe it was annoying that I was having such a reaction to the bees when they flew at me, but like I said, I wasn't trying to annoy or bother anyone. I wasn't being malicious. Finally, I lost it and said, "Okay, then don't expect my help anymore with your dogs," and I walked away. I don't usually lose my cool like that, but I was just so frustrated and hurt by her attitude. I thought we had a good relationship. I trusted her with my dog. Most seemed to be on my side, but someone did say I was overreacting to the bees. So just looking for opinions. Am I the A? Nothing you've done here makes me think you are the jerk for losing your cool after being cussed at multiple times. It's understandable to be afraid of bees, but finding a way to calmly remove yourself from the situation would help manage the risk and prevent making things worse. Calling all bee-like insects bees can be misleading and dangerous, especially when dealing with wasps or yellow jackets. Both parties could have handled the situation better, you by managing your reaction and her by not yelling or cussing at you. Am I the jerk for not accommodating my new neighbor's reactive dog? This morning I went to let my dogs out and found a lady walking a huge gray pit bull-looking dog right up against my fence. Of course, my dogs started barking, as they should when a strange dog is on the property. The other dog reacted very poorly. I called my dogs back into the house and then went back out to see what was going on. My yard is full of dog toys, and this wouldn't be the first time someone has come to ask if a stray dog lived here. When I went back outside, the lady was standing and pointing to her dog. In an authoritative tone, she said, "He is reactive." I said I could see that. She looked at me like I was simple. "So you have to make accommodations for him." This was where she lost me. Come to find out, she just moved into a little rental house down the road on the corner of someone's property. Her dog is recovering from knee surgery and needs to be walked a certain distance every day. She expects me to go down my driveway, out the gate, and onto the road to look up and down and make sure she isn't coming every time I let my dogs out during the day. As she was talking, her dog was snuffling around at the base of my fence and found a bully stick that my dog had dropped right on the other side of the wire, slurped it through the fence, and swallowed it while. Oh my God, that better not be beef. He's allergic to beef. You can't just leave stuff like that laying around. That was when I had enough. I said, "Ma'am, do you see that ditch right there? Everything on this side of it is my property. You are not welcome on my property. Please leave immediately. You are trespassing." She said she couldn't walk in the road because of the trucks, and I told her that wasn't my problem. She headed back the way she came, and I waited for her to leave and then let my dogs out. I feel like I could have been more accommodating if she hadn't been so abrasive. Maybe we could have worked out a time every day where I would keep my dogs in so she could walk by for an hour or so. But I don't like being told what I can do on my own property, and I feel like giving her any concession would just pave the way for more demands. Am I the a-hole? Nothing you have done here makes me think you are the jerk. So she comes onto your property and starts dictating what you can and can't do because of her dog. That is firmly her problem. Simply pointing out that she was trespassing was not an move. Give her an inch and she will demand an acre. Would I be the jerk here if I give my sisters an ultimatum and then cut them out of my life? For the past 2 years, my sisters and I have not been getting along. Here is the basic gist. 1. Both my sisters have been accusing me of faking my disease. I have chronic pain and severe vomiting cyclical vomiting syndrome. 2. They call me an attention seeker, a hypochondriac, a slob, etc. 3. They have stolen my things, and when confronted, say the stolen item is useless to me because I am too overweight, too sick, etc. They gang up on me and humiliate me at any opportunity, especially in front of their boyfriends and family friends. 5. They make fun of and humiliate me while I was suffering from depression. 6. They say they don't believe I was sexually assaulted in university because they think the guy who did it is nice, an old drama teacher. The relationship hasn't improved, no matter how hard I have tried to improve things or find out what is wrong. Honestly, I've almost given up. I'm moving out in a few weeks. I'm going to a new university, moving to a different province, and bought my plane ticket, so the departure date is settled, about 3 weeks from this post. Although I am relieved to say that soon I won't have to deal with their bullying anymore, I still want to leave without making things right with my sisters, or giving them a warning of what is to come, an ultimatum. The ultimatum would be that they drastically change their attitude towards me. Otherwise, I will not be a part of their lives anymore. I will always love them as their older sister, but I will keep them at a very long distance. I will not seek interaction with them, and if they wish to interact with me, I will not be available for them. Even though I know that I am not in the wrong for how I'm feeling, I still fear that I will be ashamed if I completely cut out my sisters from my life if they do not comply with the ultimatum. I keep thinking about how this might affect my relationship with my parents or the rest of my family. The rest of my family certainly would not understand, even if I explained why. As for my parents, I can't think of how to navigate Christmas with my sisters still living at home. Having to refuse certain activities because my sisters will be there without becoming the bad person. I'm afraid of being perceived as taking things too far. I need to know if I'm in the wrong because I have always been made to feel guilty for the relationship and how I'm feeling. So would I be the asshole? You are not in the wrong here. What they did definitely goes beyond sibling bickering and is completely uncalled for and disrespectful. Just leave, keep your distance, and go to therapy. It might also help to talk to your parents and explain that you need to take this opportunity to improve your life, which includes having very limited contact with your sisters. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.